The Calgary Police Service has 3 people in custody in relation to a weekend shooting that killed an innocent bystander. At approximately 3 a.m. on Saturday, August 23, 2014, police were called to 11th Avenue and 1 Street Southwest for reports of gunfire. Upon arrival, officers found a female suffering from a gunshot wound. She was pronounced dead at the scene. An autopsy conducted today confirmed her identity as Natasha Mohamed Farah, age 26, of Toronto. The 3 individuals were arrested at a hotel in Motel Village in Northwest Calgary and are currently being questioned by police. Investigators are looking for a 4th man that may have information about this incident. That 4th individual is described as black, approximately 20 years old, 5'10", 160 pounds. This individual often wears a gold medallion around his neck. A suspect vehicle, a silver Volkswagen Jetta, that was observed leaving the scene of the shooting, has been identified and located. We would like to also speak to further witnesses who were in the area of 11th Avenue and 1 Street Southwest in the early morning hours of Saturday, August the 23rd. Any related photographs or videos can be sent to homicide tips at calgarypolice.ca. I'll take your questions now.
Can we talk about a little about a motive for the shooting, or kind of what happened exactly on that street? When we talked about this last time, you guys didn't really know.
Not much has changed. We are still investigating what the motive for this shooting is. As stated last time, the female that was struck, Miss Farah, by the stray round, was an innocent bystander.
Okay, but have you ID'd any possible targets?
Have we identified any suspects?
Any possible targets for the shooting, like a person that might have been standing nearby?
We have not identified any targets that may have been in the area of Miss Farah, no.
But all 4 people, like, were they weren't like shooting at each other. There's nothing like that. They were intentionally shooting in from the street into that area?
Correct. So the investigation has determined to date that 4 suspects may have actually been in the same vehicle that was driving by. It may have been stationary, it may have been mobile, we're not sure. But they were together when this occurred.
Can you talk at this point about how many shots were fired?
All I can say is that there were multiple shots fired.
Do we know what the victim was doing here? Was she here with other people in Toronto? Was she visiting? Were her friends here?
So Miss Farah had actually moved to Calgary just under a year ago and worked here and lived here in the city. She was initially from Toronto, and that's where her family was from as well. On this particular night, on the Friday night, she had gone out with some friends to socialize, have a few drinks, and then head home.
So staff, is there any indication, was she in a group of people when she was struck by this round?
There was a group of people, and at that time of the morning, it's a bit of an entertainment district. There was a number of people around. And as I indicated before, we're extremely fortunate that there was only 1 person hit with a bullet.
So there's no indication at this time that maybe one of the group that she was standing speaking with was the intended target?
So we're exploring all of that, but nothing has come to light to the investigative team so far that would indicate there was a target in the close proximity to the victim that was being targeted by the gunman.
What led people to the motel? Was it the vehicle tip-off, or?
Numerous interviews that we've conducted over the last 48 hours. We've interviewed dozens of witnesses, led us to identify the vehicle, and also led us to the motel in Northwest Calgary.
Sorry if I may have missed this. Is there any possibility that this was a rolling gunfight, as in, maybe intended target was in another vehicle?
The investigation to date is suggesting that that is not the case. There was no two warring parties.
Is there any chance that there was a fight that broke out between the four suspects in the vehicle?
Amongst each other,
Yeah.
there's not a possibility of that, no.
And again, anything inside the bar? Is there been an altercation prior?
So once again, we've obviously identified dozens of witnesses. We haven't identified any fight or altercation in and around either in the club situated nearby or on the street in the area of the shooting.
And are any of the 3 people that you have in custody now, or the 4 that you're looking for, are they known to police at all?
Yes, they are. 3 out of the 4 for sure are known to the Toronto Police Service.
Is it the 3 that you have in custody now?
The 3 that we're dealing with right now are known to the Toronto Police Service, yes. As a matter of fact, one of the suspects that we currently have in custody and are interviewing right now is wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for attempt murder out of Toronto, Ontario.
Sorry, and that's one you have in custody right now?
Correct.
So the victim's from Toronto and these guys are from Toronto, but there's no connection between any?
There's no connection whatsoever between our victim and the shooters or the suspects.
Can you confirm that the suspects are
I can confirm that they are from Toronto, yes.
Are they related to any of the gang activity happening in Toronto right now? Or any of the major gangs going on there?
I can't speak to what's happening in Toronto. I have no idea.
Did the victim have any family outside of Toronto, like in Calgary or anywhere else?
Well, the victim had a lot of friends here in Calgary, but no immediate family.
Sorry, where are the suspects right now? They're in Calgary or transport?
The suspects are being interviewed by members of the homicide unit here at police headquarters.
And sorry, the one that was wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for attempted murder, that was a murder or an attempted murder that took place in Toronto?
Correct.
Okay. And do you know when that was?
I don't.
The other 2, what are they known to police for?
Just numerous dealings with the Toronto Police Service. I couldn't give you any details.
And the gentleman that you're looking for, that's not in custody yet, is he also from Toronto?
We believe that person is also from Toronto. However, we haven't identified a name as of yet.
But because you don't have his name, you're not sure whether he's known to police as well?
Correct. We can't confirm or deny that.
So staff, are you pretty confident that one of the 3 that you're detaining was the shooter?
We are confident that we have the right people that we're talking to at the moment. As I said earlier, the interviews are ongoing, and I will receive updates from the investigators probably in the evening hours this evening.
Is there any indication of how they got the gun in this case? Was it legally owned, or is there a question of how they could obtain that?
We don't have any information in relation to the firearms, and we haven't recovered any firearms.
So is it multiple then? Is it more than one?
We're looking at that option.
And I know on the weekend when you spoke to us, you said that you weren't sure whether the shots came from inside or outside of the vehicle. Now you believe they came from inside of the vehicle?
The investigation in the last 24 to 48 hours, we believe now that the shots emanated from inside the vehicle.
You're just not sure whether it was parked or in motion?
Correct.
And
Right.
you believe all 4 suspects were in the vehicle at the time?
That's correct.
You mentioned that the 3 were known to police in Toronto. Do you know if that was for what it was for? Was it drug? Was it gangs?
So just that the one individual is wanted for that Canada-wide warrant for attempt murder. So obviously, a violent crime type investigation. The other individuals, I'm not going to get into specifics as to what Toronto Police Service is looking at them for, just the fact that they are known to them.
We had 2
I don't think so. The shootings come in ebbs and flows, and you're right, it has been a busy weekend for us and tragic at the same time. And we do take each shooting very seriously. We're continuing to investigate each of the 3 incidents that occurred this weekend with numerous investigative teams to make sure that they are solved.
Are the victims' family members in Toronto?
Do they
Or do they live there?
do they reside in Toronto? They are from Toronto, correct.
So are you Toronto proper or a surrounding area like Mississauga?
I have no idea.
What sort of charges are they facing?
It's too early on in the investigation to speculate on what charges we're looking at. That will be information that will hopefully come to light down the road, and we'll provide that to you at that time.
Is it especially concerning to you guys to not have any motives stand out from the beginning, that this could just be potentially completely random?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a very young, innocent female that was gunned down in front of a club. And this was reckless and tragic. And so that's why we've been working around the clock since 3 a.m. on Saturday morning to attempt to resolve this.
Have witnesses been cooperative? Have they been forthcoming?
The majority have been cooperative and forthcoming. As I mentioned earlier, we are still looking for further witnesses due to the number of people that were in and around that area at the time the shooting occurred. It was a very busy time of night. So are we looking to speak to more witnesses? We certainly are. And in the whole era of smartphones, if anybody has taken video or footage of the incident, we'd certainly be interested in that as well.
I know another thing that was brought up on the weekend was if it could possibly be a case of mistaken identity.
Mhm.
And even if it's not, if you ruled that out for her, is there a chance that someone standing on the block could have been mistaken for someone these people wanted to shoot?
So you're right, we have ruled that out for her. And we haven't identified any other target in the close area or proximity of the victim. So
Steph, you mentioned these 4 individuals, or the 3 that you've got in custody, are from Toronto. Any idea what they were doing in the Calgary area?
we're still trying to determine that right now. All 3 that we have are being interviewed by investigators to try and exactly determine timelines, and hopefully the investigation will uncover that answer.
Have you recovered the gun?
We've not recovered any firearms.
Do you know when they arrived in Calgary?
We do not.
Are they just believed to be visiting? They're not from Toronto but live here?
I can't speculate as to whether or not they've been here in the short term or the long term. All I can tell you is, based on the history that I've seen, that they have Toronto connections, and that's where they're from.